Today's lesson is on the pattern summary of learning. We're going to evaluate all of our expressions at specific values. So in your notebook, you should have this little pattern booklet, and as you can see on the front of mine, I put pattern summary of learning in lots of colors so that I know that this is what I'm going to review for my homework before our next big test or quiz. We've got a lot of studying to do. So let's get right to work on our review. Again, the first page, you might want to write pattern of learning. Just to show that we're talking about variables and expressions and getting all of your notes all done up, ready to go, right? Using lots of colors. On the first level, you're going to have a section with a learning goal that says determine through investigation using a table of values, relationships in growing and shrinking patterns. So each of these pages are going to have a short learning goal, and this one, again, is determine through a table of values relationships in growing and shrinking patterns. Now I'm going to squeeze mine in there. Shrinking patterns. Good. And as you can guess, we're going to need a table on our page so that we can fill it in there. And we'll just put that right across. And we're going to have two sets of numbers. Let's use just kind of a simple example maybe. And we'll talk about cupcakes. I want to make a table to determine the number of cupcakes I need to make if a class of 12 ate 2 cupcakes each. So my table should tell me if I have a class with 12 students and they each eat 2 cupcakes, how many do I need? So there are 2 things I need to look at: the number of kids and then the number of cupcakes. So the number of kids in my class, let's say there was 1 kid. I would need 2 cupcakes for that kid because each student eats 2 cupcakes. If I had 2 students, I would need 4 cupcakes. If I had 3 students, I would need 6 cupcakes. 4 students would need 8. 5 would need 10, right? And so on and so forth, all the way up to having 10 students. It actually says I have 12 students, right? So 11, 22, 12 is 24. And I'll just extend my lovely table here. So you always want to make sure you have a key when you're using symbols. So I want to remind myself that K is equal to kids and C is equal to cupcakes. Now, the pattern rule is that the number of cupcakes increases by 2 each time. However, I could have figured this out without drawing a whole table, but sometimes it's going to be difficult to do that. So you want to make sure you're really using your resources and you're using all the strategies that you have. So sometimes a table is your very best option. And perhaps you want to try a expression or an equation with a variable. Our learning goal may be to determine through investigation an understanding of the use of variables in expressions. For example, if my variable is an unknown number, there are many ways to write that in an expression. Some people may have seen expressions written with a box in them, like 3 plus the box equals 9, or a box plus 2 equals 9, right? Well, now that we're in middle school math, those boxes are going to be replaced by a variable. So we'll say 3 plus n equals 9, and then x plus 2 equals 9. Now that we have these letters assigned to the missing number, we can actually write in what that letter is equal to. So when 3 is added to n, it equals 9, so n must be 6. And when x is added to 2, it's equal to 9, so x must be 7. I'm sure you've done problems like these before, but perhaps without the actual variable or without the actual letter in the expression. So, as you look over your notes, these are two really important skills that you're going to want to know for our upcoming tests and quiz. So this is the way that my notebook looks, with the first page of my summary notes and then the second page of my summary notes all written out so that I have a nice little flip book for review. Your proof tonight is to create a table to represent having a pizza party for math class. If all the students will eat 3 slices of pizza, how much pizza do we need for 9 students? I also would like you to write this problem as a variable expression as well.